Hello, guys. Hope you are doing fine during this pandemic duration. So, we have a special guest today, and I'm very happy and humble to introduce you to Dr. Rafik Unisa. She is a research fellow in the CSIR Biological Division of Indian Institute of Chemical Technology. So, we are very happy to have a guest who is a PharmD graduate, and along with that she is now a junior research fellow. Yes, I know many people are shocked, and you have come to this video by reading the subtitle that PharmD person being a PhD junior research fellow, how is it possible, how can we do, what are the steps to be taken? So all these questions you might have got in your mind, right? So yes, this is a platform where we will learn from our guest and what are the struggles that she has find during this course of her life. So hi, thank you Dr. Rafikunisa for joining to our platform, and please introduce yourself and and take us through your journey.
Hello everyone, I'm Rafikunisa. I have done my family graduate earlier from Malaradi Pharmacy College. Right now, I'm a junior research fellow from CSIR ISCT. I have joined CSIR ISCT in 2019. I have completed my graduation in 2018. So, meanwhile, within this period, I have joined in Virinchi Hospital as clinical researcher. I have worked there for a short period of time. Later, within 4 to 6 months of gap, within 4 to 6 months, I have been got selected in CSIR as a JRF. Basically, here I work on a project of climate-based malaria epidemiology forecasting model on northeast region of India. In this northeast region, we work on the 8 states. Along with the seven sister states, we also include the Sikkim state. It is the smallest one there. So these states include Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Tripura, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, Sikkim.
Okay, so you have worked before getting this position of junior research fellow. You have worked in Virinchi Hospital. So what work you have done actually? What is the position you were being given when you were there?
In Brinchi Hospital, I have joined as clinical researcher. Earlier, during my internship, during campus placement, I was placed in GVK Biosciences as junior research analyst. With that experience, I have joined here as clinical researcher. So later on, this net exam, I was disqualified. So I was not sure whether I'll bag a seat in this or not. So I have joined in Brinchi Hospital. Later, within 4 to 5 months, I have been informed that I have been selected. So I have joined in CSIR ISCT
Okay,
during the
nice.
month of August 2020.
Okay, so Rafiq ji, so please tell us about what are the steps you have taken to get into as a junior research fellow in the CSI, so that our viewers will also get an idea what they should do to get into this PhD program, and what is the preparation they have to take, what is the duration generally it is there for one to get a call from the government as well.
Yeah. The people who all want to join in the PhD program, they have to write an exam, NET exam, National Eligibility Test. This is conducted by NTA, National Testing Agency. This NET exam is of two kinds, basically. It's of UGC NET and CSIR NET. CSIR NET, it's basically for biological students. Okay. Whereas UGC NET,
Okay.
it's apart from biological students, like the people from other departments, like public health department, sociology, forensic medicine. Like it's so many exams are there. In CSIR NET, we will be having negative marking, whereas in UGC, we don't have a negative marking. CSIR stands for Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. UGC NET, it consists of 300 marks. whereas CSIR it consists of 200 marks. These both exams are almost similar, and these both exams leads to the admission of a candidate into a PhD program. Apart from PhD program, you will also be get selected as a lectureship. You'll receive a lectureship. Lectureship is nothing but you can join as an assistant professor with this eligibility in any university or college in future if you are interested in academic field. So that later while teaching the students, you can gradually increase your knowledge and you can you can register yourself under PhD under some university. While working as an assistant professor, you can basically increase your skills and you can complete your PhD too by completing a research work. The another option, JRF, this junior research fellow. This junior research fellow we receive basically from the NET exam. So whenever you get qualified, there are two kinds. Like if you get qualified, either you will get a JRF with assistant professorship or only assistant professorship. So when you are unable to join in an institute, a PhD institute, if you are qualified at least with the assistant professorship, lectureship, which I mean, so you can join them. Some people will give you preference, the guide, the scientist under which you are going to work future projects. As a project position, you will be getting. So basically, by qualifying, like mere cutoff it will be. It depends upon the category wise, reservation wise. There are a number of reservation in India. So basically, like this, will be entering into. After completing your PhD, you can either go for postdoc and then become a research scientist, or you can go for a lectureship directly in join as an assistant professor, or basically like professor lectureship you can join in some universities wherever you find feasible according to you. In this NET exam, there are two papers. Paper one consists of aptitude, and paper two consists of the subject which you are going to, which you are interested in. You can crack this exam. So paper one it consists of 50 questions. Each carries 2 marks, which 100 marks. Total equal to 100 marks.
100. Yes.
Whereas in paper 2, it consists of 100 questions, each carries 2 marks, 200 marks. Paper 2 is a subject which you prefer. In paper 1, general, it's an aptitude paper which consists of general knowledge, reasoning, skills, question and answer, and basic question and answer. It's mainly like your verbal English. It consists of that pattern. Whereas in paper 2, it consists of the subject which you are interested in. If you opt for biology, if you are interested in life sciences, then you can if you have much knowledge in life sciences, you can opt for CSIR. If not, you can go for UGC. Related to family, it's family subjects they basically doesn't come in this NET exam. So like life sciences, if you're having much scope in like biological science like that, if you're much interested, you have much knowledge in that, so you can opt for CSIR.
Okay.
Because CSIR net cutoff is high and due to negative marking, I didn't opt it. In this UGC net, I have opted for forensic department. For family people, particularly, if you people want to write an UGC net exam, you can go for public health paper, as it's very easy and you already have a subject on this. So it basically consists of the information of community pharmacy, hospital pharmacy, and basically about the prevention methods which has to be taken to cure or to prevent any diseases and all diagnosis. So it's quite simple, but it requires some formula doses of the medicines, everything which we have learned already. So all jurisprudence, some matter of jurisprudence also is included in this paper. As my knowledge was, as my skills were not much enhanced in this, I didn't prefer that. Instead of that, I have preferred forensic department in forensic science. In forensic science, I have aimed the book written by KVS Narayan Reddy. He is a very good author. Basically, with that, easily you can crack. Definitely, I have not qualified the exam. I have achieved some around 142 marks. I have been near to the mere cut. To basically qualify in this, you need some approx 40% marks or 50% marks to get qualified. Many people say it's very tough. Yes, it's tough, but not so tough. You can aim it. If you have strong willpower, you can go definitely. So this 40% marks, if you achieve, you will definitely get qualified as a lecturership or a JRF. For JRF, you need some 60%. These 40%, 60%, it varies upon the categories of reservation which your people are having. There are a number of reservation: OBC, BC, ST, ST, SC, and all women category. Based on that, and particularly on the subject which you are aiming. So every year there will be a cutoff, will be increasing or decreasing. So priorly, just aim it, just look, have a look. You can practice previous year papers. You can do mock tests. Nowadays, many more available. Even I have taken the help of Unacademy. They are very good. Tutorials are present in that. We can aim it easily. I didn't took any extra coaching. I have done it on myself. As I have completed my graduation, I was free for a while. So within few months, I have planned it and well.
I wanted to ask, is there any age limit for this for getting eligibility for this entrance exam for CSIR and UGC
Yes,
net?
for JRF, not more than 30. Yes, both. For both of the net exams, CSR and UGC net, 30 years of age is the age limit for JRF. Whereas
Okay.
for a lectureship, there is no age limit, no upper age limit. Yeah, and for a few relaxation of years is being there for some specially able kids and for some reservation categories, especially so that they want to encourage, government wants to encourage more and more students towards the PhD. Many
Yeah.
of
Okay. So, as you have said, can you please tell what are the resources you have taken to get yourself prepared for the exam?
for paper one, you have to, I have taken
This is for UGC
Vivek
net
Jain,
or CSIR net?
UGC net,
Okay.
UGC net.
UGC net.
Almost similar pattern of questions is there. It's quite helpful. For
Okay.
UGC net, paper one is almost similar for both of them.
Okay. Okay. So for both of
Both
them,
net exams are
one book
similar.
is
You can Google
enough.
it. Yeah, he has cleared that author. He has clearly mentioned each and everything. If you go through each and every, every each and every topic, you will be able to crack it easily. Basically, not all the questions which are mentioned in the book will be present, but some
Obviously.
are
Yes.
twisted form. So that if you
Yeah.
increase the knowledge, what is going to point in each and every topic? If you are perfect, then definitely. So in to qualify net exams, we need 40% of marks. So if you score maximum in this aptitude, then in subject wise, if you score less also, it will be get
Cover up.
balanced.
Yes. Yes.
So, but you have to score minimum marks in each subject. In each paper, you have to score minimum marks. It doesn't mean that you score 100 out of 100 in paper one, you scored 80, and out in paper two, you score 20 marks, and you will be not qualified, definitely. So,
Yes.
you have to make a
Okay. So, okay, what we have got a gist is about like if we want to get into this PhD program, we have to first get an idea of what are the which type of field you want to go in PhD itself, right? Like forensic department or other department. So depending on that, we have to prepare, right? And Rafiq ji, is there any dates in that particular dates and months exams will be
yes.
conducted?
Twice in a year, the exams will be conducted. Once in the month of June, and the other one in the month of December.
Okay, so
So basically,
anyone can apply na after graduation or or while
yes, yes. After post graduation,
only post graduation.
after post graduation, you can apply.
Okay, so only post
Yes.
graduation it can, even PharmD people are eligible for it. There is no confusion regarding that.
And it's considered as a post graduation,
Yeah,
right?
many people ask because as we all know that for certain industrial professional fields, PharmD people are not eligible. If you say CDM also, many are there in CDM PharmD students. However, majority of the companies they do not prefer PharmD people for CDM because the project depending on the type of project they are. I have also experienced it. That's why. So I wanted to pressurize that
Have
question and
experienced
ask.
it.
Yeah, she is a live example. She is a PharmD and she is a research fellow. Okay, Rafiq ji. So this is the preparatory model you have to practice and all. Another question, and that is, why did you choose to get into this field. Like we have clinical research, we have pharmacovigilance, we have CDM, right? So I know, yes, as a PharmD, we mostly are oriented towards patients and hospital and all, and want to be doing as a clinical pharmacist. But if we see after, like, every individual as a human, we see like after 5 years where will I stand, and that scope of clinical pharmacist, after even our colleagues, my colleagues, they have tried to do after 1 year, still they have a question mark. I may, after 5 years, I may not, they do not know where they will stand after 5 years, after in being clinical pharmacist position as a clinical pharmacologist as well. However, in other fields, we have a broad, already set standards are there. We know, okay, after 2 years, I will become, like in your case, senior research fellow. Then you can become finish PhD. Then you will become like a professor, senior professor, or research scholar. So these divisions are there everywhere, like manager, senior manager, or a senior in regulatory. We can say senior regulatory associate. However, in the clinical pharmacist area, look, there is no such particular standards either. There are, first of all, getting a clinical pharmacist position in a hospital itself is very few, in few hospitals. And second thing, what they did not mention anything. So by this video, by this platform, I want to share this problem of clinical pharmacists in our hospitals, tertiary hospitals, especially big hospitals also. So okay, so this is my opinion regarding clinical pharmacist, but I want to know from your side, and I know that you are very interested in publishing articles and research work, but still I wanted to know from your end, from your mouth, what are the other things that inspired you, and how did you get this guidance, like I will go like this? Did anyone told you, or you did your research by yourself, like?
Uh, Basically, during my after I completed my project in fifth year, I have worked on hemodialysis patients, impact of patient counseling in a cohort of hemodialysis patient, and its evaluation of risk attitudes. So after that, in sixth year during internship, I have bagged a job in drug safety associate in pharmacovigilance. But as actually I have to complete my internship during the hospital, but I didn't get permission from a college principal, obviously, to proceed further. So basically, she didn't allow me. So later I have been replaced as junior research analyst in GVK Biosciences to campus placement. So I have worked there. So I have done the work, scientific work, which used to be done by the scientists. It was like some curation of data and different projects, different thing. I got a basic idea. So later I have decided that I had to excel myself in this research field. So to excel myself, the other in research field, if I had to come, either I had to go to clinical trials, clinical research area, or completely in research field. For that, clinical trials, clinical research is completely different.
Yes, yes.
But I wanted to do something in research field. So I have thought that NET exam is the best exam through which I can join in this institute. Like now, currently I'm working in CSIR, which is the top world's top 4 institute in
Yes.
research industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
also feel very proud to say that we have a guest who is in the topmost Indian institute, and not being a PharmD person and doing as a research for, very few people will be there who are doing that. I think in your team also there may be not even one person who is PharmD. I think so.
yeah. So basically, in our family scenario, many of the students they'll complete the graduation. After complete the graduation, they'll go for MS for abroad countries. Again, they already
Yes.
pharmacy is a PG
Six
grad.
years.
It's a post graduation.
Yeah.
Again, they'll go for masters, double PG, because they wanted to become a clinical pharmacist or something in abroad. Again,
Yes.
for that you have to write. If you're going for US, you have to clear the NAPLEX exam. If you're
Yes.
going for Canada, then the exam. So similarly, why instead of going there, see, usually within a 2 years of span, 2 years, or you cannot achieve that position, 2 years or 1 year or 3 years. It
Yes.
takes years of time in getting that position there. The licensing exam you have to clear to get the registered pharmacist. So instead of that, I've decided I'll stay in India, I'll work here so that it will be benefited to the people. Like basically during my third year of study also, I have worked for public health awareness in rural and underprivileged areas. It was one of my articles. So slowly, while continuing my studies only, basically every year I have decided that this year what I have to do like that. Basically. So after that, I have come to a point that okay, I have to do this and have proceeded.
Yeah, very good point you said. See, guys, whoever are students, especially family, either you are in first year, second year, sixth year, whatever year, set the goal for that year and for the future. What you want, maintain certain connections with your seniors and get certain guidance, because after in fifth year, sixth year, you will not get that much time to explore as well, or when might be the time not suit you, it can happen. So certain goals one has to maintain before itself, they have to get the idea, right? What is the the evolution of your thinking, and from the beginning, did you try to set this goal while you were in family, in what year, or after family? Please tell us.
Hmm. Basically, I was not interested in research earlier of my studies, like early stage of my studies in family. Later, gradually, when I was in third year, like I started publishing paper. Like my first paper was on public health awareness in rural and underprivileged areas. That was my first paper, which got published in an international magazine. After that, later, when I received the applauses, everything from everyone, then I've decided, okay, I have to do something in research field so that I can excel myself. But later, during my sixth year of study, during my internship, I have bagged a job in drug safety associate in pharmacovigilance. If I would have been in that field, I would have become a drug scientist. But unfortunately, due to some personal issues, I couldn't proceed. As I couldn't finish my graduation, I was not allowed to do this job from our principal, from our college. So I have to drop that. So when I have decided after getting that like failure kind of thing,
Yeah.
when I decided, okay, I have lost something. Now I have to gain something else. So to achieve that, then I thought, okay, I'll excel myself in my research. Then after a few months, I have joined as a junior research analyst in campus placement in GVK Biosciences. I have worked for a short period of time. Then later, after I complete my graduation studies, then I have joined in Brinchi Hospital as clinical researcher. Meanwhile, I have done with this NET exam, and unexpectedly, I was joined there. I was got selected in CSIR, and I have joined this. So when I have failed
So
in
whatever
something,
happens, so whatever
then I
happens, it's for good itself.
happens for good.
Yeah, anything what,
Yes.
so guys, please don't be discouraged by any failures. Failures makes us more strong and gives a better opportunity. It is, so this is one of the nice stories of yours. So okay, Rafiq ji, what are your future plans, and what is the perks of junior research fellows? We wanted to know. And what, and other team members might also be doing certain research, so please tell us about like what is the uh, present research is going on, so that other people viewers who are listening to us, they might not be interested in becoming getting this, choosing this type of field, but they may be motivated, we don't know. So
Yes, you're right. So, junior research fellow, it basically consists of 2 years of study in PhD program. PhD program, it consists of 5 years. 2 years, first 2 years goes for the JRF, junior research fellow. Other 3 years goes for the senior research fellow, SRF. During your JRF, first 6 months you'll be doing a literature review of whichever the project you are interested or whatever you are going to do. So you have to get a basic idea till where the research has been done, where we have to start, where you have to. If something is missing, you got the point. Okay, you can do that. Apart from the which is your main goal. So in like this way, you'll get some ideas during this first 6 months. Later on, you can start your project slowly. So while starting your project, every year you have to gain an examination, like some presentation. It's similar to our Viva exam. Some presentation you have to. Some internals and externals will be visiting us, will be approaching us. Externals will be from different research institutes, and they'll be marking. They'll be judging us and evaluating us, and they will be like promoting us to the next year every year.
okay, okay.
This is the scenario. how we work. So
Right, right. Okay. So Rafiq ji, can you please give,
I
yeah, certain advice to the viewers who want and aspirants who want to become enrolled into such.
So some people, apart from doing net, like some research institute, they'll offer a PhD program in some project positions, like project assistant you can join, technical staff like that kind of thing, project positions, temporary
Yeah,
or
we
temporary
usually we get
or
even,
in contract it will be
yeah, in newspaper some notices of government in Times of India also.
notifications.
Yeah, they will be there. They
Yeah.
were asking for a PhD person from so and so specialized departments. It's like that, if someone is qualified in the CSIR, they can apply for that, right?
Not only PhD program, like a PG or a graduate people, uh, like a postgraduate person, they can apply for those positions. After they get applied for them, they will offer a PhD program to you. So basically,
Okay.
after 2 years of research experience in that project position, if you achieve in successfully, if you achieve in writing a research paper article, then later you will be posted as a senior research fellow. This is also a benefit for people.
Yeah,
So basically,
okay.
what we do is when we find a project position, we just ignore them. Yeah, it's okay. It's not useful for us. It's just a part, like a position we have to work and show. No, it's not like that. If you work for 2 years or 3 years and you are done with your some research work and you completed a paper, then you'll get a senior research fellow and other guide on you, another scientist, and with whom you are working.
Yeah, okay, okay. So now we got clarity. Okay, right, right. Please give some advices to our aspirants, tips if what you can.
So right now, many family people like me, many graduates will be there. They'll be confused what to do in future. This kind of confusion, it will be a similar one after we complete our 10th. Which group we have to join where? Same kind of like emptiness, blankness will be there. So we have to plan before only, before you complete your studies. So during your first 3 years of studies, you have to decide in which project you are going to work in fifth year. So each your project should be unique. It should be helpful to you. Your research work should be new. You should be much more interested. You should try to include much more clinical side in that. So it has some great impact on you. When you have that, you can publish your paper in a very good journal, which has a very good impact factor, which will be helpful to you in future. Either whether you join in an MNC, whether in an academia or in a research institute, it gives a lot of weightage. Everyone asks what project you have done, why did you choose? So it should be unique. You try to choose the best one. The research work which earlier no one has done, try to select such kind of projects.
And for that,
Maybe it may take much time, but one,
yes, yes, for that, one has to be prepared from the third year onwards itself. Because first year, second year, you will be settled,
yes,
you will get an idea about basic subjects, anatomy, physiology, and all that. In third, because fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, you will not get it that much time. From third year,
yes, you're right.
because yeah, one will be going to hospital, you will be exploring things, you will get more questions. Just write it in your diary. Go, you go home and explore things. Then you might get certain thing, the certain ideas will click in your mind. I can do project on this. And yeah, of course, the hospital, which one place to other, it varies, demographics varies, diseases vary. So you I have got so many questions from PharmD juniors itself, that what type of topic I can use for project work. See, as Rafiq ji said, articles, publishing articles is very, very important. It gives an hand on experience for future. Like she is already done so many articles from third year, she has done. Now she is very used to it, and it is very easy for her. So, and by myself itself, because of articles, I have got job. Is the mantra. And guys, uh, in summary, the only thing is, when you are in PharmD third year, at least from PharmD third year onwards, try to start to explore things. At least write certain gist of article to get at least one article on third year itself. And I know, and we all know, as we are PharmDs, as a Dr. Rufi Kunis and me also, that we will not get that much time which we have in first year, second year, third year of pharmacy, doctor of pharmacy. Fourth year we have medicinal chemistry, we will not at all get time. Till 3 years we have time. Say first 2 years will take time to understand what is this profession, anatomy, physiology, and all. In third year you go.
Basically,
Yeah, yeah.
during the third year only, they should plan that what project they are going to work on. So the
Yes,
project which you are going to work on, it's going to have a great impact.
yes,
You, which wherever job you go, it basically have a great impact. So
yes.
you should prioritize that. So the project, you should say that prior, some people are not working on that. Earlier, that research work has not been carried out. So you should plan such way,
Yes,
and it
even.
doesn't coincide with your colleagues and all ideas and everything. So if you have a pre-plan, then you can discuss with your guide earlier too. It will be helpful for you in future.
Yes,
So later it will be easy
yes.
for you, whether in 6th year you have to join for a job or whether you have to go in a research field. You'll get a clear-cut idea. Basically, during final year, like 6th year internship, many people they'll go for some training program, pharmacovigilance, clinical research,
That
which
is
is
not
quite good.
needed,
You'll
right?
increase.
Yeah, that is not
Yeah.
needed for family students who are from depth of knowledge. You are going, adverse event, what is ADR, what is AE, what are the different type of adverse events and all. What is the need of getting pharmacovigilance training? That is for diploma people, B Farm people, M Farm. Even my juniors, when they ask me, do I need to do training in vigilance, I say no, but still they go because of lack of confidence among themselves. So after
Yes.
completing their course, they themselves say, I should not have went, I have wasted my
Yes. I feel
25,000,
that.
right? Yes, yes. Okay, so
Again, after completing the course, you have to again go to the while giving an interview. Again, you have to be undergoing the training, everything. So basically, getting trained earlier is also like it's quite benefit, but not much.
yes, yes. And guys, so this is our gist. So please, I hope that this video is very useful for you guys. Though some may not be interested to become to get into PhD, but some may. So please share this video with your other fellow members so that at least awareness is there. Ki how a formed person can get into a PhD program, or what are the steps to be taken. And another thing I wanted to say is, Rafiq ji, yes, as you have said, that articles are very important. From the third year onwards, if we try,
Good journal.
yes,
Yeah,
and yeah,
because impact factor should be more.
yeah, and
I
journals
was
with,
never about this.
see,
Now
listen,
I got to understand. Yeah.
yeah, articles, if you publish in any without thinking into any journal, it is waste. See the impact factor number. If impact factor is nothing but if a journal is widely accepted, favorable, standards are high, then your article quality, if it meets that standard, then they will accept it. That means your research data, whatever you have collected, is of higher standard and it is reliable to the other people who are reading it. So that gives credibility to you for going into any job or anything. Even I also published my article in third year, and that is also very strange story. That is because our hospital, Malareddy Hospital, they have so many cellulitis patients in surgical department, so many that I was like irritated. Why only cellulitis patient, no other patients are there? Then I tried to research about it. I got to know, and I did a research, not only one, I have done on cellulitis two articles. Data I have gathered from all, because that time I was in third year, I didn't knew how to segregate the data. I took the data, I just gathered it in fourth year. I asked some of the other people. Then I got to idea. Okay, we have to segregate it like that. From one data, I did two articles. So, so like this, you guys also see the, yeah, Rafiq ji.
Quite interesting. It's
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm very happy. After doing PharmD, you will not get, if you are joined in any other field also, you will, there is very less chance, and few people only will have the interest to make articles, though you are not in,
yes,
right?
absolutely right.
Very, very few people. And this writing of article is also one type of skill set, which is everywhere in future. It will be very helpful for anyone. Yes. So thank you, Rafiq ji, for joining us, and it was very useful.
Welcome. Thank you for giving me an opportunity
Yes.
so that I may be helpful.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least
okay.
one student will get this right, it's more than enough.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, thank you. And guys, whoever are viewers in this video,
If
whoever is
any,
watching, if you have a certain, if you are not a student, if you are into certain other profession like this story of Dr. Afikun is a, if you, not many people know such story. If you have, please contact me in the social media, in LinkedIn, Twitter, anywhere, so that we can see and we can share your story with other students as well. Okay, so last word you want to say, Rafiq ji?
any doubts are most welcome. Kindly leave your suggestions or comments in comments everything. If
Okay,
anything
I
else,
will
I'll
give
let you know. I would like to
Dr.
answer your
Yeah,
inquiries.
yeah, I will definitely share the Rafiq ji's information, social media